Hi friends, welcome to my channel, and I'm Dawn, and today we'll be looking at Sennelier paints today. As usual, before I begin my sessions, I always have my little disclaimers. First disclaimer is I do have dogs, and currently one is right next to me, so you will hear her moving from time to time. Let's hope she doesn't bark at the neighbors or anybody who's passing in front of the house. The second disclaimer is that I do live near a major highway here in Belize, so you will hear the motor vehicles as they passes. Now let's get back to our regular scheduled program. A little bit of history and a little bit of know-how about the Sennelier. These are actually a French brand. Now Sennelier has two different product line when it comes to watercolors. There is their artist grade line, and there's a student grade line. This line here is the artist grade line, and because it's an artist grade line, they have excellent light fastness. Now I have here the half pan set. It's a half pan set of 12, but they not only come in half pan sets, you can purchase them in tube sets, and you can also purchase them open stock. So the colors in this half pan can be purchased open stock, and it was for that reason that I got an additional color in here. Now this is a set of 12. I believe they also sell the half pan sets instead of 14, 18. I believe there's also 24, 36, and 96. I am so sorry, I did not research how many colors there are in the Sennelier lines, but I do know they sell a half pan set up to 96. And the same with the tube sets. The tube sets can be bought open stock, or you can buy them in sets as well. Now let's see what colors I have here. Okay, so I prepared my little swatch sheet here, and there is 13 colors in here. Like I said, I actually purchased an additional color open stock, and I'll tell you why in a minute. This half pan set came with lemon yellow, French vermilion, alizarin crimson, carmine red, purple dioxide, phthalo cyanide, ultramarine deep, Payne's gray, forest green, phthalo green light, burnt sienna, and warmth sepia. I actually got yellow ochre open stock in the same Sennelier line, and the reason why I did that is because when I did my research regarding this half pan set, I found out that it only came with one really warm yellow, which is the lemon yellow. And I like doing skin tones from time to time, and I like doing earthy colors, and I believe yellow ochre would have complemented my style of illustration very much, so, and that's why I get it. And I also want that warm to cool color combination, and so if I need a cool yellow, then yellow ochre can act as my cool yellow. Now let's look at the half pans. Now, one of the most unique things about the Sennelier is that it is a honey based watercolor set. So like Daniel Smith, which may have glycerin in it, the Sennelier line has honey as one of its main binding agents. And because it has a honey base, it's a line with honey in it. When these pans are dry, it has this sticky feeling to it. They still have this stickiness to it, so it doesn't dry hard like my other watercolor half pan set that I have. The pan that these half pan comes in is a very nice pan. As you can see, I took the entire thing out. The cover goes all the way this way. I'm not sure if I could show you, but this one here stays very straight, which is very nice. It does come with a little finger thing in case you want to take it out, and it looks like a nice little set that you can go travel with if that's your desire. Now what I did with my swatch reference is that I use magnetic strips. I glued magnetic strips onto the back of my swatch reference, and so it makes it very easy that when I need to see or need to use a color, I could just easily, you know, clip it here or clip it here, or if I'm going to close the pan, just clip it and it stays on. As you can see, I use magnetic strips for this reason, and that's why it stays here. Now we're going to take a closer look at these paints and how they swatch out. Other observations I should tell you about these paints is that they did not come individually wrapped. How these paints actually presented themselves was that there was a leaflet, like a plastic leaflet, that covered the paints. Thankfully it didn't stick on the paint, so I guess the leaflet is non-stick, and it just covered the paints. And what I did is that I took and it had on the color names on it with the light fast information on these. So what I did is that I cut that leaflet up and I sticked it in my color reference sheet here, except for the yellow ochre, because like I said, I bought that open stock. That actually came individually wrapped. So it had like a plastic leaflet that covered the paint, so the paint were not individually wrapped. And in the pan, this looks pretty tight and it doesn't look like it's gonna spill out or anything, but the paints came very loose. They were always moving about. And one of the things I did to prevent that from happening was that I put magnets, super strong little magnets, to the bottom of the paint so that they can stay in the pan without moving about too much. And that's how I keep it stick to my tin. So now let's see how the colors swatched out. And these are the colors right here. I am so sorry if this camera doesn't want to focus. I think he's feeling the heat too. So this is the lemon yellow. This is the French vermilion. This is the alizarin crimson. This is carmine. This is purple dioxazine, and this is the first purple dioxazine I own, and I just love how dark and rich that is. It almost looks black. This is the phthalocyanide blue. This is ultramarine deep, Payne's gray, forest green, phthalo green light, yellow ochre, burnt sienna, and warm sepia. The color names are written both in French and in English. And this is the color mixing chart. And as you can see, the colors are very, very, very vibrant. And I love it. Okay, as you can see, I'm all set up. And today I'll see how my Sennelier, I'm not sure about the pronunciation of this particular paint, but if you guys know how to pronounce it, can you just please put it in the description below? I always read my description, so just please put it there, because I think it's Sennelier or Sennelier, I'm not sure. But I'm gonna see how my Sennelier products compares to my Paul Rubens. And for this comparison, I'll be using only 3 colors. I'll be using Sennelier's lemon yellow, this one. I'll be using their ultramarine deep, and I'll be using the alizarin crimson. In the Paul Rubens line, I'll be using his permanent yellow, lemon yellow, scarlet, and French ultramarine. So we'll see how that looks. Okay, so as you can see, I am finished. One of the things I should say is that I am currently working with Fabriano's cold press 25% cotton, and I'm learning to work with it. So drying time is a little wait, but I do enjoy it because it allows you to manipulate colors very easily versus the other types of cheap art supplies that I'm used to, which dries very fast. Now let's see how these both colors hold up. As you can see, they're both very, very bright. And it wasn't an exact match because the Sennelier doesn't have permanent lemon yellow. It just has a lemon yellow, even though they're both PY3. And they do have excellent light fast quality. Sennelier don't have the ultramarine deep. Sennelier has ultramarine deep versus Paul Rubens French ultramarine, but they're both PB29. And the other color that I chose to use was alizarin crimson versus Paul Rubens scarlet red. Now the Sennelier's alizarin crimson is a tri-pigmented color, which has, and tri means 3, which has the PY 209, PY 83, and PR 7179 versus the Paul Rubens scarlet red, which is actually a single pigment color, and that is PR 123. Now, having said all that, what are these colors like? As you can see, they're both very vibrant, and each color does have excellent light fast quality, even though Paul Rubens will be considered a student grade quality. It still has excellent light fast quality, so it is a very higher end of the student grade quality. And the Sennelier, which is actually an artist grade quality paint, has excellent light fast quality. The Paul Rubens competes with it. And as you can see, especially when it came to the French ultramarine versus ultramarine deep, the French ultramarine is much more cooler than the ultramarine deep. And as you can see, it makes a much cooler purple than the ultramarine deep, which makes a more warmer purple. And if you're hearing that song in the background, I do apologize. Like I said, I do live near a major highway, and that's actually a very popular song in my country. But anyway, we're all done. You see the results. I'm not going to say which one is better, which one is best, but they can compete with each other. The Paul Rubens is a much more cost-effective brand than the Sennelier. So if you are struggling with money, I will suggest getting the Paul Rubens. You will get the light fast quality, and you will get the brightness. Thank you so much. Join me next time for another edition of Scrapbooking in Belize. Bye.